I want to see matches. I want to see matches. And it seems, again, I hope that the chess world will add. I'm not saying you should move into that direction solely, only have matches, but I think it's a good addition and it only makes sense. It's a 1v1 sport. It only makes sense to have matches, build some hype, build some rivalry, and get people interested.
But it's like, again, who are the matches between? Like, who is getting excited over?
Doesn't matter.
No, but it does matter.
Well, we have like format Hans versus the world.
No, I understand. Okay, Hans, he's going to be a polarizing figure. Some people will root against him. Some people will root for him. He has his fans. He has his detractors. Kramnik will be a polarizing figure because of all the recent stuff.
Hikaru versus Magnus was supposed to happen.
Okay, but now you're picking, like, yes, a polarizing figure who, and also, I mean, maybe Hikaru's sort of a polarizing figure. At least that seems to be the case, and also they happen to be top 3 in the world. With Magnus.
Yes.
So again, you're only suggesting one match to me, and it even fell through, that one as well.
It probably has to start slow. Right now we don't have the characters in the chess world, but if this kind of becomes a thing, I think the characters will be built up. Let's say will appear. Let's say even like 2500s, 2600s. You can build up. Let's say a match card. Where you have 2500s.
You're going to need, like, maybe you have Lawrence Trent against
and then you have a main
Greg
event.
Shahadi or something. Yeah, you can build them up because they're going to trash talk and play it up and so on.
People get excited about that.
But if you have a match, again, I'm going to say some names. These aren't meant to, like, denigrate the players at all. They're great players. But if you have a match like Yu Yangyi against, I don't know, Yu Yangyi against Sugirov.
Okay.
Like, again,
strays.
No, but I'm not like using it. It's just that they're not like very notorious players, right?
Sure, that's the thing.
You need to build it's not meant to be an insult, really, to either of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great players, but nobody's gonna watch the match.
90%, 95% of the players in the chess world right now don't have
a marketable. I mean, we had matches.
Yes.
Like we had this chess Kings. What was it called in St. Louis? Champions Tour.
Champions Showdown.
Champions Showdown.
Yes.
And I was playing 2019. I was playing Hare Krishna. I don't know. Wesley was playing Lenier. Hikaru was playing Levon.
But there was no
Rapport
rivalry.
was playing Shankland.
Yes, I remember those.
And these are actual, like, all top players. And what was the viewership? And that's like multiple matches. And then Magnus even plays Ding. Did you have like huge viewership for Magnus Ding?
Not so much.
Like, do you think that anyone's going to watch me against Pantala, even though we're both
if you start
very strong
trash
players?
Talking Pantala, if you start like building up some sort of rivalry, yes.
Yeah, but the thing is,
without rivalry, there's
talk.
Nothing. Not necessarily
like,
trash talk.
If the trash talk isn't genuine, if the people don't hate each other, it's going to look fake. And I don't hate Hare Krishna.
That's true.
And even like Hans and Vidit, they were trash talking. I was like, okay,
that was weak. That was weak.
Because they don't hate each other. You need to actually have people.
Vidit is a very nice guy. Yes, he doesn't play the heel.
But chess players don't really hate each other too much, and even if they do, they probably don't like say it publicly.
That's the thing.
With fighters, it's like
we're in a very gentlemanly sport. I agree with you, and perhaps that's not well fitted.
It's also like tennis. It's like after a tennis match, these guys are like, "Oh yeah, he's the greatest ever, and I respect him so much."
That's true.
Again, it's not a bad thing. It's like Alcaraz and Djokovic, and they're afterwards the loser is very gracious and the winner is very gracious, and they both give speeches and press conferences.
Good point. Good point.
It's like chess, and in MMA you have, or boxing, you have the guys who I don't know if they genuinely hate each other or they're just like testosterone through the roof. And,
probably.
And they're just like going at each other's throats, and it's different. I mean, that's a natural phenomenon.
But still, people are interested in tennis, right? People get attached to, let's say, a certain player.
Yeah, but not because.
How do you build that within the chess world?
But you'd have it in the chess world too. It's like Alcaraz or Djokovic or Federer. They have their fans because they're the greats of all time, or Nadal. They have millions and millions. The same with Messi or Ronaldo, right? Millions and millions of fans because they're great players, and the fact that they're gracious does not detract from them as players. But you don't need to have trash talking 1v1 matchups. Actually, it's just a normal KO style tournament,
Yes.
right? That you see in like the World Cup.
You
And-
do get some tensions occasionally
Sometimes,
between the
yeah,
players.
sometimes.
Yes.
But the same in chess, right? You'll have like you have some chess controversy because of, let's say, some format disagreement, like we had recently. I don't want to talk about it again, but
Let's not go into that again.
but it's like, okay, you have trying to think of something in tennis, because like very often these guys are also like giving points if there's like they'll say, okay, you know, it's your point in case there's some disagreement, right? Like Alcaraz very often does this. If there's some kind of dispute, he's not like fighting over the point. But there was this case with the Greek tennis player.
Ben Shelton, the American.
Oh, and Djokovic.
Who was doing-
Yeah,
And then Djokovic.
yeah.
well,
Djokovic got mad. I mean, okay, that was a bit of Shelton is a young guy, and he was a bit he's like not exactly like Hans, but sort of, you know, a bit poking fun at the
yeah.
And Djokovic poked back, and it was so minor.
And it wasn't them. I would assume they weren't actually offended. People just around the internet were offended.
They were probably a little bit pissed at each other. But there was who's the Greek tennis player? God, I can't.
Tsitsipas.
Yeah, Tsitsipas. And he was like, there was someone said that he was getting coaching or like taking very, very extended breaks, which weren't justified. I forget. There was some like fight,
kind of like a bathroom controversy.
yeah, and his father
like
was
chess.
like also very involved, and I don't know. There was something there, but again, minor stuff, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think that like these 1v1 matches are going to take off suddenly. That's my feeling.
We'll see. Again, we need more characters in the chess world. So if you're an up-and-coming 2400, 2500, 2300, it doesn't really matter. Just build your persona on the internet. I think that's very important. That's crucial.
There's from also like very respectful countries very often. All these talented kids.
You don't have to trash talk, actually. You actually
from
don't have
India,
to trash talk.
Uzbekistan. It's like very.
Just post on Instagram, you know, get following. I think that's crucial because that's how you attract sponsors. I'm actually very curious to see how things are going to develop after the Rapid and Blitz. I have a feeling that's going to be
What
huge
Rapid and Blitz?
in New York. I think that's going to be a
Oh.
big event. I think that's going to be a big
Yeah, I'm
event. A
looking
lot
forward
of.
to it. I don't think it'll change things dramatically, but I'm looking forward to it. Like, what do you think it'll change?
I think we're probably going to get some visibility as a sport. Get some discussions with sponsors. I don't know exactly what's happening.
There was a
behind
World
the scenes.
Championship in New York.
Yeah.
We were
yeah.
there, right? You were there as well.
Yes, I was. But
2016.
I think the time is much more right now than it was in 2016. But we'll
Sure,
see.
could
I
be.
mean, it is just, you know, this
I
is
think
my
like
hope.
the
let's
New
say.
York scene, because a few years ago I was acquainted with it, in terms of like there's a corporate scene that's interested in chess.
Exactly.
There's billions and billions of dollars in the corporate world. I mean, trillions of dollars, and it wouldn't hurt them at all to give some money to chess, right? It would.
But they need to get something
and
in
they have
return.
some interest.
That's the thing.
Like in 2018, when I qualified, I did get interest from the corporate world in New York, and I did some stuff there in like summer of 2018. And yeah, but they're like, if there's something that they're interested in, then they're willing to, but they have to be interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely like a world championship match was enough to like awaken that interest a bit.
Yeah.
But just a tournament in New York, will it? I mean, they have their corporate chess league. There's things going on. A lot of these guys do play chess and
Yes.
have ties to the chess world. But yeah,
There's
there's
just the right discussions that need to happen. I mean, look,
I hope so.
Rolex, they sponsor tennis. They don't play with a Rolex on. They put it immediately after on.
Okay.
And they raise the thing, boom, Rolex.
You can't compare
Huge.
chess and tennis. I mean, you just
Huge.
can't. We have to
But
be
a
realistic
watch
too.
company, a watch sponsorship is like the most well-fitted partnership that you could think of. Like
Yeah,
chess
but
players, you
chess
can
is still
always see
small.
their hands.
Chess is still small.
That's the problem.
Of course, watches are like the most natural.
I mean, it's such a
sponsor.
natural fit.
We even use a watch to play chess. I mean, we have the
Yes.
clock. So I mean, there's a lot of potential there. But if they don't have the interest, I mean, in 2020 I got a deal with Intel, and it was about a year long. There were some people in one department who were interested, And so we made contact. We got some partnership going, and then at some point the departments just shifted around in some way, and those people went somewhere else, and we lost our contact there.
And it fell apart, or?
I mean, yeah. Well, it just didn't get renewed. But it wasn't because they can't. I mean, this was like very little money. It was like I forget. I mean, it's in the tens of thousands, right? It's which is significant for one single person. Like if you're a chess player, I sponsor you for 50 grand or 75 grand. That's like a very good deal. For a big company, it's literally nothing. Absolutely nothing. So they don't care about the money, and maybe it gives them a bit of good press. But they actually have to get the idea in their heads, and you have to actually make the contacts, and that's where the difficulty arises. So, yeah, can it happen? Sure. Will it happen? I don't know. I mean, I've seen sponsors in chess come and go, and sometimes a lot of it relies usually on like one benefactor, because the big companies very often they don't seem super interested in chess, or if they are, then they go to like chess.com and there's some collaboration with another big company.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. With that, I think it's probably a good time to finish this one. We do have a body just trying to get in the frame right now. Maybe you guys will see it.
Don't scare it or it may explode.
He's not going to explode. You have to really scare them. I'm going to research that.